Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Ooh, it's a little bit dark. It's dark outside. Of course, the weather is pretty ugly. Let's turn on the light. It's raining and stuff. And yeah, pretty early in the morning. I'm ready to hit the gym. Yesterday we gave it a try outdoors, but it was super ugly, Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. On my way to the first outdoor day since a long time. Apparently it shouldn't be too cold today, about 15-16 degrees. But as you can see, it's still pretty cloudy, probably no sun for today. Everything gray and gray, so pretty desperate, pretty depressing to be honest. But anyway, you have to get any chance for an outdoor climbing day, because as I checked the forecast, it's gonna rain like hell this week again. So yeah, hopefully the rock is dry, hopefully my project is dry. Just enjoy some rock after all these gym sessions, you know? Alright, see you there. Welcome to the top of Hohe Wand. I would translate it to English. High wall in Lower Austria. Some good cracks here, but apparently the fog is really thick, and I don't know if it's still gonna if the sun comes through today. 8 degrees. Ugly conditions. Right, so we just arrived at the Hochkogel wall. Still in the fog. It's not getting better. 8 degrees, super moist. Lucas, what do you think?
It's probably gym time.
Strategy is to wait, see if it's getting better, and if it's not, hitting the gym hard, as always. This autumn is a real shit. That's why we decided to hit the gym instead, and I had a look at the forecast. It looks super disgusting in the next few days, even this whole week from now on. And that's why, again, it's gonna be a lot of gym sessions. And today I want to focus on climbing a few of the color boulders in my gym and analyzing, as you guys so kindly suggested. As always, I'm gonna start the day with a fruit smoothie to get energized, and then I'm gonna hit the gym straight away. Unfortunately, we can't take the bike today because, as you can see, yeah, it's super ugly. But we will check out public transport for one more time. Welcome back to the gym, my friends. In today's boulder session, in today's analyzing session, I want to focus on tiny little details which can greatly affect the difficulty of a boulder problem. And for this purpose, I just picked 3 of my recent boulder problems, and I want to show you the tiny little tricks which made me climb the problems actually. So here I'm just sanding the first one, and as you can see on the top right corner you have a little close-up of the hole so that you can imagine what we're talking about here. And the move that you're about to see is the crux move. As you can see, it's going to the right, upright black little edge here. And from there on it's pretty much over, so the whole difficulty is basically concentrated in this move. And it's really not that complicated handhold wise, but if you take a look at my foothold, you will realize that there are actually 2 options of how to step this foothold for this certain kind of crux move. And as you can see here, it's a pretty slopey, pretty glassy, slippy foothold here, which you already had in your hand before. And on the right side of this comparison, you will see that I'm stepping pretty much frontal, pretty super simple onto this foothold, and that's not the right thing to do. I'm slipping off here because the directional loading is not ideal. I have to step more on the right side of the hold in order to pull myself towards the black edge. And another thing that I want to add here is that sometimes the right shoe can be crucial. As you can see here, I'm using my Sportiva now, and this one is much stiffer than my 510, and I can't really grab on this foothold, and that's why I'm slipping off here. And of course, don't forget to also brush your footholds, especially if you had them in your hand before. On to the next boulder. What we've got here is a pretty fascinating hook problem with a demanding start dyno, which you can see here. And again, you've got the holes in the right lower corner to see, so you can actually check out what we're talking about here. And what you will notice immediately is that the holes are actually really big. There is absolutely no difficulty because of small holes here, but the difficulty comes because you have to place a good amount of precise hooks here onto these holes. And you have to climb these hook problems with a little wisdom, so to say, because all of the holes that you had in your hand before, you need for your hooks afterwards. And that's why you have to make some space with your hands and with your feet for the next hook, and that you gotta keep in mind when you do a move. And we're going to see that in a second in a close-up that I've made. There we go. Here you can see the starting dyno. Next step is going to be matching this big hole here, and then I'm trying to place my left heel hook right at the center onto this big hole. And what you can see right afterwards is I'm trying to create some space with my hands in order to place my heel hook even further at the top of this big hole, and that enables me to place also my right toe hook onto this hole because I've created some space. And this is something you have to keep in mind, and actually the boulder threw me off quite a few times just because I didn't keep in mind to create some space with my left heel hook for my right heel hook. And these are the tiny little details onto those hook boulders you have to pay attention to, especially when the holes are very big, just like in this example. Then we often forget that we sometimes have to leave some space for additional hooks or additional stepping or whatever. And keep in mind that especially big holes can be hooked in lots of different variations and directionalities, so big holes do not necessarily make the boulder less complicated. And on to the last problem of this session. It's a pretty nice problem on this adjustable wall here, as you can see, and it boils down pretty much on one single move, which is the crux move of the problem, and which you can see in a second, namely this move here, onto this hold on this volume here. And the problem is actually not the move itself, but the hold from which you have to perform it, this right crimp edge, or however you want to call it. And after that, the moves are actually quite easy, I would say. The boulder is basically over then. You have to perform a few more moves into the roof and then it's over basically. But what I want to actually take a look at is the right hold from which we have to perform the crux move. This is the left one, and here we have the right one. And this is actually a pretty bad hold. As you can see, it's not very in-cut.
you basically have to crimp it fully. That's the instinct. That's what your instinct is telling you when you reach the hole for the first time. But when you take a closer look, there's a little cavity, so to say, for the thumb here at the top end of the hole itself, namely this cavity here. And thanks to this feature, you can take the hole quite strongly, although not crimping it fully. And that's of course awesome, because here we have injury prevention and we are strong for the crux move, which is awesome as well. So always pay attention for these tiny little features which help you climb your boulders. Alright guys, enough bouldering for today. Time to head home, get something to eat and make a little hangboard session. I'm pretty motivated today. See you there.
Ladies and gentlemen, feel free to currently running a few meters into the funkload direction. We are working to control normal service. This is due shortly.
Public transport. That subway was not on time, my friends, I can tell you. Next time, I'm gonna take the bike again, no matter how shitty the conditions might be. So what do we have for groceries here? Bananas, of course. Tomorrow morning smoothie, apples, and ooh, look what we've got here. Some high-fat vegan post-workout pre-rest day treats. Today's kitchen work is gonna be the next level of simplicity. Simply gonna need a half a Yoda cup of this organic rice, organic basmati rice, and then I'm gonna consume that with my high-fat vegan post-workout pre-rest day treats, and I have the feeling that's gonna be awesome. Lid on top, heat to high. See you in a second. Alright, that escalated quickly. Already cooking, as you can see. Quick rice cooking tip: when it's cooking, just turn the heat off, leave it on the stove, leave it on the plate like that, and eventually it's going to steam itself just perfectly. And there we are, looking beautiful. Oh, some carbs. There we go. Plate. So let's get some of this rice out. Next step is this wonderful chickpea curry. It has quite a lot of fat in it because it also contains some coconut milk. Oh yeah, this looks awesome. On top of that, I want to add some of this tahini, which is about 50% fat. Just increase the calorie density a little bit, and especially if it's cold outside like now, you know, cold, wet, windy conditions and stuff. I have the feeling I need a little more calories, you know, a little bit more calorie density. So there we go. This looks like an awesome meal. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this little training vlog. Please give it a like and tell me in the comments down below what you think about the climbing boulders and analyzing and stuff. So that I know if I should do that more often in the future. And I hope the conditions are getting better in 1 week or so. Hopefully the rock dries and I can get some outdoor footage as well. I really would love to do an outdoor vlog actually again, but yeah, the conditions are just too bad for that. So I try to preserve my strength, I try to increase my strength even for the outdoor projects, which I will eventually try this year once the conditions get better. And until then guys, thank you so much for watching and see you in the next episode. Bye.